Hi everyone, welcome back to Job One for All. In this video, we are going to talk about a special type of classes called enumeration. So before we start talking about enumeration, I would like to show a problem that we usually face that will lead you to use enumeration in Java. Let's create a new package, kenum.domain, and then you can create a class, and we can create a class called customer. So usually we start with name, and then at some point in time you will need to create a variable that will need a specific type of data. I mean, specific type of option. For example, let's say that we would like to know what the type of the customer. So we have a couple options. When we are selling to a customer, it's either like individual or a company. Let's start with these two simple examples. Let's create a constructor, and let's create getters and setters. I think we don't need getters and setters for now. We only have we have the constructor, but let's create then the string. Okay, now let's create a test package, and let's call it customer. It's a class, not the package. Customer test. Shift F6, customer test 01. Okay, so we have a customer, one, new customer. And you are the one who developed the customer class, and you know what you are expecting. So for example, you have a Tsubasa, and the type is individual. Cool. And then you have another customer, and this customer is called company. Well, cool again. But then after 1 month, someone else joins the team, they create a new customer, and instead of saying company, they say company. And someone else joins the team again, they don't pay attention, and they create something. Okay, so looks like this is a type, and I will add something like this. Basically, individual, all uppercase. So as you can see, as the time goes by, you have a tiny problem. The data is getting different from what you expected. Now, how can we kind of mitigate this problem? Well, if you have been watching and you understood everything so far, you could do something like this. Let's say that now the pattern is all uppercase. So you have individual and you also have company. So you are defining a type. And well, we don't know how to handle exceptions yet. We don't know how to tell, hey, this is not good. So we are going to just return empty object. Let's then do the checks. So if the type dot, and strings, you usually do not use equal sign. We are going to talk about string in the future, but for comparing strings, you should use the method equals, and then you pass the string you would like to compare. So if the type is not equals to individual and it's not equals to company, what I want to do, I want to just avoid creating the object. So we don't know how to throw exceptions yet, but here is the place where you would throw an exception. So basically now I'm forcing someone to actually send the specific data that we have here, either individual or company. Now this is going to check if the case is also matching. If you would like to completely ignore the case, you have equals ignore case. But in our case specifically, the case is important. I want everything uppercase. Now, if we execute again, you will notice that I didn't execute this one. Let me come back. South client customer 1, 2, 3, 4. If I execute now, you will notice that okay, so this one didn't work, this one didn't work, only one worked. That is the last one. So if I change this to company as well, and I execute again, now we have two objects, two valid objects. So basically you are trying to force the types to be one of these two. Thinking about problems like this, Java came up with a special type of class, a special type of class where you can specifically work with these kind of problems when you have like you have to choose a selection between a limited amount of options. And this is what enumeration actually is. So let's create an enumeration, and that enumeration will be customer type. So right click, domain, new Java class. But is it enumeration? Yes, it is enumeration. The name is customer type. So you can see the difference here is that we, instead of class, we have something called enum. And now it's what we are going to represent this enumeration. So inside enumeration, everything is final and everything is a constant. It means if I type what I'm trying to achieve, individual and company, they will be constants. So individual, comma, company. So these attributes, if I ask you what is the type of these attributes, because I'm not adding any types here. So the type of these attributes is customer type. So this is a special case where you are defining a class with two attributes, where these attributes, they are the type of the class, in this case the enumeration. So since this is a special type of class, we have to work as we would work with other classes when we are trying to add this to our customer. It's like an association. So now I'm going to delete everything to make things a bit more simple. So now I want my customer to have a type. So a customer has a customer type. Instead of string, because the options can be limitless, I'm going to say, hey, now I have customer type and customer type. Now, when I create the constructor with both options and the toString, you will notice that we have a problem. We cannot send inside customer test strings anymore to represent the customer type. Why? Because customer type is customer type. So I want to send here one of the options available inside customer type, either individual or company. So in this case, it is individual. Company type, customer type, dot individual. Now here is company, and here is company as well, and here is individual. So now I'm forcing whoever is creating a customer to send me a customer type. And because of the rules of enumeration, I know for sure that the options can be either individual or company. Well, what if I create another one? That means I have another option. This means you have to worry about the new type. Of course, if you are doing some business logic based on the customer type. But in general, you know that now you have a limited amount of options. So it doesn't matter how many developers they join your project later, they will not be able to create anything different than the allowed types inside customer type. So basically, this is just an introduction to enumeration As you can see, what you have to remember is that you create enumeration by adding a num instead of class. Everything here is considered like static and final, and the type of these attributes is customer type. And when you are adding to a class, you add like through association. So basically, this is everything that we have to talk about the introduction part. Let's continue in the next video. See you.